everybody. Nice to see you again. Tonight on Oche Kitchen, we have
agreed. Is this roasted or grilled? This week.
tonight on Favor, can you mute yourself, please? Favor, mute yourself.
I'll mute her.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Tonight on Oche Kitchen, we have decided to appreciate our nurses, and we're meant to have some good-natured nurses on board tonight. I don't think they're all here at the moment. But just,
I think they're all here.
Are they? I can see, I can see Zuchis. And I can see Ezewani, the queen herself. Thank you for coming, ladies. So good to see you guys. I'm a bit too excited to see you. I don't know why. It is one thing to ask people to come be with you, and it is another thing to have your invites. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can.
Oh, okay. I was
Did you
wondering.
recognize the nurse, the only nursing house? That's the only nurse with a nursing cap.
Yeah, I was wondering, if Nanyam is wearing scrubs, which I'm more attuned to, but did not say Lisa in you, I'm having difficulty coming to terms with. Pardon moi. I recognize you, Ify. Well done.
Thank you very much, Sister Metron.
I refuse to be a matron. So we have two of our nurses here. Who else is here, please?
Ike is there. Ike is there.
Oh.
They are all here. They are all here.
Oh, really? I don't think Chuta is here, but at least I have 3 nurses confirmed, which is a big deal to me. Thank you so much, guys. So before we go into the deal of the day, as the CLO of Oche Kitchen, Chief Love Officer, I would like to give just a tip. It says, before you get married, discuss these things. First of all, discuss skills, discuss parenting styles, discuss credit, discuss debit, discuss how to deal with family, what beliefs will be instilled in your children, very important, childhood trauma, sexual expectations, another important one, partner expectations, financial expectations, family health history, mental health history, bucket list, home, careers, and education. You might want to add political views and whatever else comes to mind. So that's it for today's CLO moment. You can expatiate on it if you want to. Without further delay, I would like to go into the business of the day. Today we're appreciating our nurses. You know that people talk about doctors a lot, and then when a doctor walks in, you see this kind of awe in people's eyes. They admire them. I remember when I was younger, when one of my cousins got admission to study medicine in UNN, the mom started telling us to call her Mama Doctor. So it's as if the doctors are all in all when it comes to the medical sector or the health sector. But as far as I'm concerned, the nurses are very important. They are very, very important. I don't want to say who is more important than the other, but I appreciate this set of people a lot. And that is why maybe I'm so excited to have them on the show. So I just want to tell you guys that in as much as we appreciate everybody that has supported Oche Kitchen in one way or the other, we especially appreciate the nurses that are with us today. Like the band will say, we must greet you specially. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to throw the very first question to the only male nurse in our midst before I talk to the ladies. So my first question is, why nursing? Ike, why nursing? What was your motivation? How did you end up being a nurse?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi,
you
good
asleep?
afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to have you here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm heading home.
It's
I
fine.
dropped somebody off at the airport. So I've been a nurse for
Proceed about half of a mile to I-95.
9 years. And
wow.
originally, in Nigeria, I studied civil engineering. I went to FUTO, Federal University of Technology, Owerri.
Oh, wow.
So I came to America 2004. 2004. So two years later, upon arriving here, there was financial meltdown.
Yes.
People were losing their jobs and all that. So a friend of mine who happens to be Yoruba advised me to go into nursing. Then before then, I was actually hang on. I have to park, okay, because I can't concentrate while I'm driving.
No problem.
Let me park. Give me like 10 minutes, please. Then I'll come back.
How long do you have to get home?
I mean, I live in Connecticut. I'm in New Jersey, so.
Oh, okay. So you have like an hour, 20 minutes.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'll park somewhere. I'll just
Okay.
want to get off this area, then I'll park. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Then
So,
Oche, you
so
can.
he's your neighbor.
Yeah. Benson told me he lives in Connecticut, but I don't. I think he lives. We've not. I don't think we've met. Mhm.
Okay, that's fine. So while
you.
we wait for thank you, Ike. I don't know. Each time I want to talk to you, Presido, before I want to say anything, sister is the one wants to come into my mouth. But I'm not going to call you any sister this evening. Please.
Just go ahead as a one.
I'm having that difficulty.
Call me Sister Jari. Sister is the one.
Please say no to sister.
You drama. You want to get
Oh my God. Okay, so tell me, why nursing? What was your motivation and how did you end up being a nurse?
Next right, and then.
So my story. Hello, everybody. My name
Hi,
is
welcome to the show.
Hi. Thank you guys so much for doing this. We really appreciate it. So I think the May 6th, that week of May is Nurses Week. So we are grateful that you guys recognize that and you're doing this on this show. If I must say, I'm liking that your capo. Very nice.
Thank you very much. In your honor, I've done this.
So, I mean, I came into nursing just like most people did. Just like the previous person who was speaking, I did chemical engineering first and foremost. That's what I did. I actually worked in the field. Ijam, I don't know if you remember Clairol, they make shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah.
It's
in Stanford, right? It's in Stanford.
Yes, I used to come there every single day. Yes,
It's on High Ridge Road.
Yeah,
on Long Ridge or High Ridge. Yeah.
right. So I worked there for a bit, mixing chemicals, doing stuff for making shampoos and conditioners, but that wasn't really what I wanted to do with my life. You were locked up in a lab somewhere and you're just doing these things on your own.
Oh my God, you would have been a millionaire by now because you would have had your own company.
Not really. It's more complicated than that. So I've always had interest in health. When we were all in St. Jude, everybody wanted to do medicine and surgery. But going into ASUD at that time, I was given engineering, so I ended up reading it. So after working for a bit, I decided to go into health again, which is really what I like to do. I like interacting with people, helping people any way that I can. And with the job market too, it's very flexible. You can easily find a job in the health. And the easiest thing to do really was to do nursing. So with my bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, I was able to, I think it was an 18-month course that I did. And then I got my bachelor's in nursing. A few years later, I got my master's in nurse practitioner. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm working as a family nurse practitioner at the VA hospital. right here in New
Beautiful.
York City.
Very impressive things, I must say.
Huh?
I said very impressive CV of
Johnny,
yours.
yeah. Well
I've always
done.
been in awe of you, and now I'm more in awe.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Zuchis,
Hi,
I am elated to have you here.
thank you. I was having
Is it cheese?
problems
I'm
with
dressed
my
like you.
audio. Huh?
Huh?
Me and you dressed together.
Oh, you're wearing scrubs. Oh,
Yeah,
I
man.
You see,
Look
and
at
I'm
how
here
you
wearing
wearing
Ankara. Please, Zuchi, send me scrub so that I can look like Ndiozo.
You sure you
Mom,
want
I
some
don't
scrubs?
see you wearing
Next
scrubs.
time you come to London,
No, I
hook
don't
up
wear it
with
at
me.
work. I don't wear it at work, but I have three. During COVID, I made one with Ankara and my
Oh,
friend
Yeah.
gave me
Oche,
two.
don't worry, you're the patient. You represent the patients, okay? We nurses, we nurse the patients. So sit
What
back.
she's
Exactly.
wearing is
And we are
quite
psych
symbolic
nurses.
too.
We are psych nurses.
Yes.
I think what OJ is wearing is symbolic as well.
Yeah. For the patients,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Monday,
that's-
I'm loose. If you pay route
Yeah.
on the para.
Okay, Zuchis, please
Yeah.
don't mind the people. So
That's
tell me,
all
why
right.
nursing? Because I know that wasn't what you studied in your first degree.
No, I studied English language in my first degree, but what's the question? I was having problems with my audio
Oh, okay.
and my network, so I've just had to park somewhere.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what was the question?
The question is why nursing? What was your motivation and how did you end up being a nurse?
Right. I've always loved people, I'll say, as a whole. People, helping people, doing things. I'm very passionate about doing things for people. And even when I was in St. Joseph's, I thought I was going to end up being a doctor, but my brain couldn't absorb the requirements.
Me and you. Oh.
I thought I would be able to do that, but I couldn't. So anyways, I went to university and ended up with English language and literary studies as a first degree.
Mhm.
And when I came to UK, I had to work in a care home, and that's actually stimulated
Like
me.
a springboard.
To want more, yeah. So
Okay.
looking at the nurses around, we had few nurses because it was a care home. So even when we like to call them service users needed health care, we'll have to still take them to hospital. So we weren't really hands-on on nursing, and you know what I mean, on medicine.
Yeah.
So I just decided I needed to have more. I needed to like widen my horizon, you know what I mean? So I decided to go to school because I couldn't just do it with that, qualification that I had. I had to go have a diploma in healthcare, and then I went to university to study the nursing itself. And when I finished, I was happy, I was in. And the most important thing about this happiness, I didn't have to study chemistry, physics, even mathematics. I just had mathematics as,
Hey.
yeah, exactly.
So
So
how
I
did you
was
do?
not scared. My mathematics was just my drug calculations, which was very easy to maneuver,
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
whenever, yeah.
So that was it. And I was
Oh,
happy. And from
no wonder you guys are thriving, because when I think about the requirements for some things, I don't even bother. And as far as I'm concerned, there are things I
don't
can't
say
share.
that. Don't ever say
Honestly,
that.
that's why I'm so in awe of you guys,
Yeah.
The good thing about school here, attendance will give you at least 20%.
Exactly.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you know that, okay, something gives.
Yeah.
Unlike ours, that you'd even be in class, maybe because you left 5 minutes before the lecture ended and your name is not in the list, you're in trouble.
That's
Very
it.
true. Mhm.
That's
So,
it.
okay.
Don't be dissuaded by age. I'll tell you, don't be dissuaded by age, because when I was in school, the oldest person in my class was 60.
Yes, you know that the thing is, there's a way God made people. There are people that like book. Like my mother is still schooling.
I know.
I don't like book. So, okay, so that takes me to another special guest of ours, Uche. Uche, welcome to the show. So nice to have you here. Uche practices in the UK. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Good to be in your midst this evening.
Hi, welcome to the show.
I was thinking the whole thing took a different dimension because I've not been in this, I've not been amongst you before, but from the look of it, it's like you all know each other from St. Joseph, if I'm not wrong.
I wanted to put that disclaimer out because we keep talking about St. Joseph. St. Joseph is our secondary school, coincidentally. The ladies up there who attended the same school. So and it's one of the best schools in Aba at the time, Abia State. Selected chicks, that's what we called ourselves. And you can see
that's so fair to say, actually. I agree with you because I have some relatives that equally studied at St. Joseph anyway.
Thank you very much.
And
that's why everybody wanted to read medicine, apart from me.
Close.
I do want medicine.
Like 10 minutes walk away from St. Joseph. So I know the place very well. So,
that's cool.
Thank you.
Anyway, I went to a secondary school in Aba as well. First of all, I went to one of the prominent school in one village called Ihe High School.
I know it. Yeah.
So before I finished at GTC Aba for whatever reason, and I found myself there. Okay. So I'm very familiar with the schools around there. And so I was thinking now, because Namua Anobe in the midst before, I think we should have had a bit of introduction prior to us starting this. But however, it's okay. I'm gonna roll with the whole thing.
Actually, I was going to ask you to introduce yourself to us before you take the question.
Okay. All right then. Maybe I was faster than you. Sorry about that.
It's fine because I felt it would be better for you to, give us an overview of your personality, not me saying anything, because I actually told me your qualification and stuff, but I wanted you to be the one to tell the house. Okay? Yeah. And again, it's not a St. Joseph's forum. Oche Kitchen is just an independent forum, and we discuss any and everything under the sun. We have a new topic every weekend. It's just that we chose to recognize nurses this weekend.
That's fine.
So I am hoping that after today, you don't stop coming on Oche Kitchen whenever you have the time. It's
no worries.
7 p.m. on Saturday evenings every week.
Oh, that's interesting. That's good to know.
This is season 5. The Oche Kitchen was born out of the lockdown.
Oh, right. Yeah, I think
having
a lot of things happened in the lockdown.
So which
is a positive thing, though.
Yeah. So tell us a little about yourself, and while at it, to tell us why you chose nursing. What was your motivation, and why nursing in the first place?
All right. Like my name is Uche Alino. So I'm from Isialongwa. Then married to Mbano. Yeah. So.
Oh wow. No, why did you guy here?
Is he?
I said, no one did you guy here high school.
Yeah. That was why. Actually, high school was my indigenous school. I'm from here precisely. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
At least you no riskant.
Huh?
Continue.
I didn't riskant.
So, yeah, my first degree was in accounting. So I did accountancy in Abia State University. Then afterwards, I did a master's in management, did an MSc in accounting.
Oh, wow.
Then it was time for greener pastures. How do we go? Where do we go? Finally, I found myself in the United Kingdom under the program then called the Highly Skilled Program. Highly skilled,
yeah.
So that was my pathway of coming to the United Kingdom. So on arrival to this country, I was thinking highly skilled is actually, yes, you're gonna get job in accounting without stress and blah, blah, da, da. I was like a month, nothing, 2 months, nothing, 3 months, nothing. And I was crying. I said, I want to go back home. So I was working in Federal Medical Center as an accountant too at that time. So, and I was working directly with my boss, the chief accountant of the
one in
Owerri, yeah. So one day I just called my boss. I said, Oga, this Alabeke where I come self. I know if you understand. I never get anything. He said, Uche, come back. Nobody wants to work under me. Everybody's scared. So come back. Your job is still there. I said, no, I burned that bridge. I'm gonna strive and see what it, So lucky, cutting long story short, we were like, my cousins, some friends, they were like, Uche, you better do care. I said, what is care? They said it's something like you can go to somebody's house and give them care. I said, me, go somebody's house, go do waiting, care for somebody. I said, never, I will never do that. Instead, I go back to Nigeria. So things are just going that way. Finally, as God will have it, through my sister-in-law. So I had to kind of volunteer in a chartered accountant firm. So I was there, I landed trade, got the skill, started working there. My hours, as people were coming in, so my hours started getting down. So I started cutting the hours to be able to accommodate other people whom, were getting less pay. Fine. By then my family was still back home. And I'm like, how am I going to do this? I can't just be, this is not enough. It's not even enough to pay for my bills, not to talk of anything, not to talk of talking about getting my family. So my cousin kept pressing me, do care. I said, okay, now if not, I don't want to go to somebody's house. Is there any other aspect of this care of a thing that I can actually lay my hands? He said, there is hospital. I said, now you're talking. So I want to go for that one. He said, okay, well, you have to start somewhere. I said, I don't mind starting from somewhere, but I don't want to go to anybody's house. He said, okay, fine. So got me up with one agency. I registered, did everything. I went for training, sent me to training a place called Walking. So 3 days intensive. They paid for my accommodation and everything. My sisters. I did the first day. Hey, see Oyibo now. They are lifting with their hoist and everything. I'm like, commode. They were just pushing this. I said, hey, waiting, carry me, come here. Second day, I said to them, I think I'll be going back to London today. They said, what, you've not finished? I said, hey, I'm done. As God will have it, the owner of the center, she's one Iranian woman. She's so lovely, so kind-hearted. So I went to her office. I said, excuse me, ma, please, I don't think I can continue. He said, why? I said, this job is too much. It's too hard. My back is aching. My hand is aching. The woman busted into laughter. He said, Uche, yes, it's just, that is how it is, because this is like a care home, but where you be working in London would be like in a hospital. I said, okay, fine. Okay, have you done the BM checks and others? I said, no, I've not done them. He got the nurse, signed Uche off, get her to do all these things, and she's going back to London this evening. I said, oh my God. So after that, boom, I went back. Then I found myself as a HCA in the hospital. See me now, where I go start. So I was following one nurse the very first day, doing blood pressure. I was just following her. But after that, I got a hang of it and started. So I was combining the accounting job and this HCA job because it's like through agency, few days a week. Finally, after that, I now got I secured a permanent job with one of the private healthcare centers in the UK, and they were dealing with, it was General Hospital mainly. There, all the nurses said, Uche, go and do nursing, Uche, go and do nursing. I said, oh, I can't do nursing. I can't see blood. I can't do this. I can't. So finally, along the line, how I ended up going to nursing is like, there was one colleague.
To come to that because, we have several questions to ask you guys.
Okay.
Please tell us why eventually it was nursing.
Yes. So finally going to nursing was because of one of my colleagues who went off sick for a couple of weeks. So when we asked what was happening, nobody was able to give us. So my boss said it's confidential. Finally, she came back to work and I said to her, what actually happened? She said she had depression. I said, what is that? So she said it's a mental illness and she's on medication for that and blah, blah, blah. I said, instead of going for general, I think let me go and explore what this depression is. So that's how I ended up going into mental health nursing. Okay, so because of my degree from Nigeria, so I had to do accelerated 2 years, I got a postgraduate diploma in nursing.
All right, thank you. Hi, Ike, how are you?
So I got a postgraduate diploma in nursing within 2 years. After that, I had to do another year, a master's degree. Then after that, I had to do nurse prescribing course. So at the moment, I am a non-medical prescriber.
All right,
So
thank you.
all in the field.
Uche, thank you. We have to ask other questions.
All right, then. That's fine.
All right,
thank you.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thanks, Oche.
So moving on to the next question. Before we ask the next question, I'm going to give an update about our last week's show. We talked about the Queensland girl. So from an update I saw, the little girl took down all her Instagram posts, but before she did that, she apologized and said that she's going to change and rehab her life and everything. So I'm going to IG Nutri tips before I ask the next question. I'm going to talk about list 5 foods that can fight high cholesterol. So if you have high cholesterol or you don't want to develop high cholesterol, these 5 foods are going to help you. Oats, in Nigeria, we call it Quaker oats. Beans, we all know what beans is. Then nuts, like groundnuts, walnuts, any nuts you can eat. The fatty fish, which in Nigeria, the fatty fish we eat a lot in Nigeria is the fish I ate in your house.
Mackerel.
Mackerel, thank you.
Mackerel, okay.
Yeah, mackerel. Mackerel is a good fat. Yeah, here is salmon. Yeah. Yes, yeah, it's a fatty fish. It has the good fat. Then your green leafy vegetables, you know, they contain the stanols and the sterols that help you with your cholesterol. So please, if you have, and water, and watch your weight. Okay, so moving to my my question is, what aspect of your career gives you joy and inner satisfaction? What really makes you fulfilled when it comes to nursing? I'm going to go to Zuchi's first. Zuchi, are you there?
No, she's gone off briefly. She'll be back up.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can start with Uche
Ezi.
and the other person.
Ezi.
She stays the wine, to be precise.
Presido. She's my president.
Thank you, Jared.
Yes. So what aspect of your career gives you joy and inner satisfaction, and what really makes you fulfilled when it comes to nursing? Because I know I work with nurses. Is it like you guys? I doff my heart every day for you guys. It ain't easy. I'm trying to tell you. You guys do everything.
From them. It might not be that
You guys
bad.
do everything for doctors, so you know. So I doff it. So what aspect of your career gives you joy and inner satisfaction, and what really?
Right. So Ijama, like you rightly said, bedside nursing is not easy. It's a very difficult job. And this is one of the reasons why I got off bedside.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So my job right now, it's kind of like working as a primary care doctor. So I have a cohort of patients that I treat. You know, I manage simple primary care illnesses like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol, things like that. So I really don't report to any doctor. You know, I work on my own. I work under my license. And now that New York has given us full authority, we don't need to report to anybody anymore.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, so it's very.
So if I need Percocet, I can. I'm
sorry.
I say if I need prescription, Percocet.
Absolutely, you're gonna come become my patient first. So it has been very, very rewarding. Very rewarding in such that I get to do what I've always wanted to do, which is, you know, medicine, even if it's through this route. And I don't have to work those, you know, ridiculous hours that some doctors do. So I have a clinic 9 to 5, and then I'm able to go home. So I love taking care of my patients. If a patient walks into my office and has a high blood pressure, and I'm able to prescribe some medications that, you know, it's able to manage, that gives me a lot of joy. I also deal with geriatric patients. So a lot of times it's not really only the physical aspect that we have to deal with. You know, there's a whole bunch of social issues. They live
Yeah.
alone. There's no family around, things like that. So we have to bring in social workers, other disciplines to try and help these people be safe at home. So
and dietary consults too. Don't forget us.
yes, everything. I have in my team, I have a dietitian. I can't do anything without her. So I know how blessed I am to have her. But with all of us working together, it's very joyful, very rewarding, very nice to see a patient go from, let's say, a 0 scale to like a 10 or
Yes.
to like an 8 or to like where they're able to really stay home, which is usually what they want to do. They don't want to go into a nursing home or anything like that. So so if we're able to have them stay at home, be stable medically and socially and otherwise, that's that really makes my day.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Ihoma Chuta, can you hear me? Ihoma Chuta.
She's here.
Yeah, I know. I saw her coming here.
I can hear you.
Hi,
Yeah,
how are you?
I'm
Welcome to the show. Can you put your video on, please, if you don't mind?
She's at work, I'm sure.
Oh, you're at work? Oh, okay. So can you talk?
Yes, I can, to an extent.
Okay, you missed the first question, so I'm going to throw the whole question together. So can you briefly tell us why you chose nursing and what aspect of your career gives you joy and inner satisfaction?
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Hi,
Good evening, Chuta.
I chose nursing. It's just that I love the profession. I just love the profession. Everything about the profession, they care for my patients, I hate seeing people go through pain. I like taking care of the sick. That's really.
Was that your first degree?
Sorry?
Was that your first degree?
No.
It's not in your first degree. Okay.
No. I studied linguistics.
Okay.
Before nursing. So, but I found out that each time I see someone in pain, it touches my heart. I will want to give a helping hand. So from there, I just decided to go back to that which I feel will make me fulfilled. Yes.
So for you, compassion gives you the inner satisfaction. Like when you tend to sick people and they get better, it makes you, it gives you inner satisfaction.
Yes.
All right.
So, what aspect of nursing? Mental health, isn't it?
Nursing. Yes, I had already gone for midwifery, but I found out that it doesn't give me that fulfillment. But each time I see someone that is mentally ill, I feel pity for the person. So I had to go for psychiatry. Despite my friends' discouragement and family, psychiatric nursing, why will you go for psychiatry and all that? But I knew that was what I wanted to do. I love this
sorry, Wax, before you say anything, Peter, I'm happy to see you. It's been a while.
Oche, hi.
I've always forgotten that you were into psychiatry. Please, I need you to check on these two people that are with me.
Yeah, she needs you to work on Oche and Ojugo. Right, Mama? Me and Mama, we are decked to help you give her hard medication. Medication.
When you were saying that everything about the profession, that you like everything about the profession, I remember that when we were kids, there were times that, someone would say, I like how doctors dress. I like the stethoscope they hang on their neck. Yeah. I was so scared. I didn't want it to be that you like this nonsense Mom has on her head. But when you started explaining, I was very happy, that is what made you. And I must say that the particular nursing you chose is a special one. And that makes you very special. I'm super proud of you.
And she practices in Nigeria, so it has to be
That's why I said I'm super proud of her, because the average Nigerian is crazy.
Yeah.
Many of us are mad. It's just that few are roaming.
Yeah, that's true.
As a one is she's writing down to bring you into her clinic. All right. Izuchi, are you there?
Yeah, she is. I can see her.
Thank you, Mama.
All right.
Izu, are you there?
Yeah, she is, but she's muted. Let me ask her to unmute.
Okay. As a wine, did you answer yet? What aspect of your career gives you joy? Did you answer yet about this?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Izu is free now.
Okay. All right.
I was hearing, I didn't know I was on mute. I didn't know, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. What aspect of your career gives you joy and inner satisfaction? What really makes you fulfilled when it comes to nursing?
Everything. Like Ezewai took the words out of me. You know, when you have a patient coming very ill, we call it when a patient comes in with, you know, a baseline that is not satisfactory to us. And then when the patient is leaving, the patient is well healed. The satisfaction I get is the input I make into their care, you know, the contribution I make into that, what would I say? They're getting better. The impact I have on them, that is what gives me satisfaction from admitting them, involving myself in personal care. It's not just the work of the HCA, healthcare assistant, that's the HCA. It's not just them pushing commodes, the nurses have to be hands-on. So that gives me joy.
know that. The nurses do everything.
Honestly, I like getting one-on-one with my patients. For me, nursing is a passion. It's not just because I have the compassion, it's a passion. I'm very passionate about what I do. The former will tell you, very, very, I go to work 6, 7 in the morning, I come back 10 because I want to make sure. Sometimes when I'm leaving, my patients are like, are you leaving now? I can stay to make sure I put them to bed. That is how I am. And you know, so that is that passionate. I'm not a nurse because I want the financial, you know, upstanding or whatever it is. I'm into nursing because of what I get out. Seeing people get better and, you know, well, it's just what gives me joy. So for now, the aspect of nursing, because before I settled down, I had to explore. So when I got into nursing as a student, I became a HCA. So I was working everywhere. I was working in so many areas. Like I worked with geriatrics, which old people, adults, not just adults, like very old people, vulnerable people, adults. I worked a little bit in pediatrics. I just did a bit of HCA, you know. I was doing this just to explore where I wanted to be finally. I worked in renal, people with kidney failures and all.
Oh my God, that is the worst. That is very difficult.
You have to deal with a lot of things. I worked in renal is not just that. What about gastric? I had to deal with a lot of things. I had to do with stomach bags. I had to, you know, people that can't go through their actual passages. I had to do all these things. And then I went to cardiology.
Oh, wow.
I had to settle in cardiology.
So you have vast experience.
Yeah, exactly. So I had to like settle for what I know I can do well and I can deliver, you know, well. So, but somehow I feel I'm in cardiology out of sentiment because I've got cardiac issues personally. But I just felt I'm in the right place. I mean, you know, a safety net, if I had to put it that way. So if I have a problem, my colleagues and everything will be able to.
And if somebody is telling you their symptoms, you can relate.
Exactly. That's the happiness.
And you're more sympathetic to those people.
Exactly. The empathy is there. When people come in and say, oh, this is how they feel, I tell them, I've been there twice. When they have my own, you know, when they come with my own kind of condition, I tell them I've been there twice. I'm able to tell them what. So where I am now, I mend broken hearts. So when your heart is broken, Ojugo, all of you, come to me.
My heart can never be broken though.
Mend broken hearts.
Because there's things to make you, there's things to make you, there's plants. There's plants and liquids. If I'm
physically, so
I do.
Thank you. Thank you so much, darling.
That's it for me. That's what it's for me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I'll take Ike lastly, then I'll take the next question. Akiko, can you talk? I see you coming.
Uche is still here, remember?
Yeah.
Hello,
Akiko,
once
are you
again.
back? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I stopped at somewhere.
No, thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah. What aspect of your career gives you joy and inner satisfaction? And what really makes you fulfilled when it comes to nursing?
Okay, I mean, I'm gonna be honest and straight up. I always people ask me this question: why did I go into nursing and all that? Personally, as a male, is that? Yeah, I mean, I'll be straight up. I'll be straight up with the answer. As a male nurse, I don't like nursing as a career.
Yeah.
Right. So
I'm glad you're honest about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people that the reason why I studied nursing or went into nursing is for the money.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there's no money in nursing. People don't know that. You have to put in overtime to make the resources. Yeah, you know. So I did nursing for some, I think, 5 years or so. Then I left nursing and they started a business in healthcare, which I will advise anybody who wants to go into healthcare to explore. You know, there's so much to, there are a lot to do as in healthcare, as in the business part of healthcare. You know, it's more, I believe you don't even need to be a nurse to tap into it.
An administrator.
You know, yes, you know, I have a group home in Connecticut.
Wow, you need to hire me.
I can afford you. So, and ever since I've been doing this is the 4th year.
That's good. I'm so proud of you.
It's been going well. Yeah, it's been going well, and I advise anybody. So look into it, even if you're a nurse or you're not a nurse. You know, it's easy. The issue here is only difficult, but you know, as you proceed and you get to know the business well, you know, there's a lot to benefit and gain from it. So Bessie is my very good friend. I mean, he told me about this forum.
Yeah.
Initially, I was skeptical about it because I asked a lot of questions, you know, because but you know, listening to you guys now, seeing that there are a lot of smart people here, you know.
Yes, we are. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Ty.
Okay, I'm gonna take a call. Okay.
That's
no
all right.
problem.
That's all right.
Thank you.
Uche, Alino, Uche, would you take the same question before I ask my own question?
Yeah. If I get the question rightly, is what's in nursing?
Yeah.
What do I like about my job? That's
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody else have actually said. So nursing is just, to me, is self-gratifying, because me being a mental health nurse, then substance misuse, I deal with addictions as well. So it's a very challenging field of nursing, so to speak. So, but seeing my patient come through the doors with some acute psychotic presentation, and we try to manage them until they are so well, to say thank you, I'm so sorry for all the people that I hurt, because it gets to the point that they were so violent that we have to seclude them. And at that point, we can get kicks and push and bites and everything. So that kind of gives me joy when a patient is on the way to recovery, because mental health, you can never recover fully from it. That is something you have to manage with medications. I think that's the best aspect of my job being done, when I see them well to an extent and be able to, you know, maximize their potential, go back to community and involve in what they like doing, then it gives me joy. Then on the aspect of substance misuse, this is dealing with people that have drug and alcohol issues. This is another thing, because addiction is actually a monster. So getting them to, you know, adhere to their treatment plan and watch them go from being on methadone or any kind of OST until they're clearly out of it and said, yes, I'm fine. I can, you know, actually function without any drug, is very, very, you know, self-gratifying as well. So these are the things that make me happy and make me want to go back there and look after my patients, because I know that putting my best and that of my colleagues, that will get our patients on the right track.
Thank
That's
you.
it for me. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, before Ifeoma goes into her question, Dr. Chizo said, well done for your honesty, Ike. Service delivery is the way to go in healthcare. Thank you. Okay, Ifeoma, take it away.
Thank you very much. I wanted to say something to Sister Zawai. There's an aspect in her job, which is the social prescribing. That's a new role created in UK recently. They're called social prescribers. So they look into social issues and referring them to social services or befriending and all whatnot. So I just wanted to mention that. And coming to my...
What's the difference between that and social services?
The difference is social services do the job. The social prescribers identify where there are issues and then pass it on. Yeah, with social prescribing, not just social services, it could be any other aspect of support that they need. It's a new portfolio, and I've seen them at work, and it's quite useful. It's quite useful because there are gaps in the society where you can't pick things unless those things come to you, and when they get to you, it might be too late. But with this position, newly created, and they're always attached to the GPs, they pick things like that. Okay, all right. Well, Dr. Chizo said, preacher says.
But if you hang on, so like that's the social services job over here.
Yeah.
So like my clinic, I have a social worker, I have a dietitian, a physical therapist, all of that. So if a patient comes to me and complains about any kind of social issue, I usually refer the patient to the social worker. And then if there are any things that I need to do as the primary care provider, then they'll let me know. But the social service department here at the US, they deal with all of that. Thank you.
If I might piggyback on that, I work in a nursing home, even in nursing homes and in the community, when they identify anybody, there are bigger questions. The social services will ask you, dietitian will ask you to tell you that this person is at nutritional risk or this person is at social risk. So the social workers, like you said, ask the trigger questions and let them know if you need things like Meals on Wheels. You can't go to buy your groceries or things like that. They provide those services.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Okay. Going to the next segment, which is Fifi's affirmations. And what I tend to do is look around, listen around to find those key words or key sentences that will make a meaning to everybody. And the affirmation for today is, when flood comes, fish eat ants. Yeah, that. And when flood recedes, ants eat fish. So only time matters. It depends on what's going on at what time and who is in charge. Or go on top. Or go on top might eventually come on that, become your gate man. And
essentially means be nice to people you see on your way up because you might see them on your way down, right?
Life no balance. That's
life no balance.
Life no balance.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly.
Yeah, take the words back. And my last question is, what are the challenges of being? Oh, do you have Ike Okoro here?
Yeah, no, I think I'll go.
He's gone out at the moment. Okay, so
he already said it that he doesn't. I
wanted to ask him personally as a male nurse to say, but I think we'll have to get the drift. Yeah, but it's okay. For the others, what are the challenges of being a nurse? Uche, do you want to tell us quickly?
Yeah.
And I would like you to throw it. Can you just give us, not going in deep into it, you could tell us a personal experience, so to throw more light to the answers.
All right. Actually, I think generally there is no job that goes without challenges. And for nursing, especially mental health nursing, the challenge is so enormous. Because at times you see that there is something we call like diagnostic overshadowing. You don't know whether this is a behavior or somebody is presenting with actually acute illness. So this equally poses as a challenge of what are you treating? How are you going to treat this patient? Because some have got personality disorder and they try to kind of pay prank with their personality disorder so that you don't even know which area to go. Is it the illness or is this behavior here? So that's a part. Then another thing is about families' involvement as well. So families tend to meddle a lot with the care of the patient. They try to kind of say, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. And so we're always like in the middle of patients and the family. And because we know what we're doing, we want the best interest of our patients. So we get into this like, but at the end of the day, it's challenging. It can frustrate you because you want to do the best, but the family is over there telling you this is what you need to do. But we have a way of getting all those sorted by
managing relationships with
exactly.
the family.
So, these are the things that at times equally shortage of staff is equally a problem. Do you understand? At times you have like medication supplies are being delayed and patients are kicking off, not getting their medication, especially with those with addictions. I get it so much with them. They kick off when their prescription is not there, has not arrived. So these are all the things that we face on daily basis. But it's just a matter of having a very good communication with your team and the patient itself, telling them, reassuring them, and making sure that they understand why things are the way it is. It's not as if you just have gone on your way not to make things happen, but it's systemic, issues, which is actually delaying. So these are the things, a lot of things, there are tons and tons of challenges.
I can imagine, Man, working with people, what do you expect?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Izu.
Hi.
Hello. So what are the challenges you faced as a nurse? And if you could give us a personal experience to make it, bring it closer.
There are so many challenges, one faces as a nurse. Apart from the shortage of staff, where you have to work so hard, the job of 5 people, one person is doing it. It can be very, very mentally challenging, even though you're not a mental health nurse. You're mentally, challenged. And so we all know what's short staffing, the implications of being short staffed. And another area of challenge is when you have to deal with a very difficult patient. It is very, very, very difficult as well. Dealing with a patient who wants to have his family around, and you don't want to, bring the family because of the vulnerability of the ward, not just because of COVID. Like my personal experience during COVID period, there were lots of restrictions. We didn't want people to come visiting. But for the exception of people who were what we call end of life, if they are going to die, we had an exemption of them coming. But at a point when it was at the peak of COVID, we weren't even allowing even the end of life people, because the people in the critical care, they were dying from COVID, could not see their relatives. And that was very challenging for us in the sense that we were very hot to see people die without their families, holding their hands or talking to them, even though they knew they were dying alone. So that kind of thing. So some patients know that it's very difficult for them. They want to have their families around, but, and they won't listen to you what they say. So they'll call you all sorts of names. Some people will even, like in my ward, I have seen patients call me this black girl.
You're a black girl now.
It happens here, yeah. I don't want no black girl.
So
nurses
that black
complain.
girl wouldn't let me have my way. Anyway, so those are, and another challenge is when you're working with a group of people and you don't have good teamwork. So can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well. Okay. Yes, very well.
I'm on the motorway, so the noise is too, that's why it's like I'm screaming. So,
that's okay. We hear you very well.
Okay, I think, we'll get it.
So not being able to
I think she jinxed her thing.
Yeah. Now. Okay. All right, Izu, I get it. I think in a nutshell, it's about trying to still do your job when there are restrictions which are beyond your control. I understand that.
Restrictions, shortages, and stuff like that.
The family, I think they're a wicked person, but again, it's just what the rule is, and they can't come in at that time, and you dealing with those patients all alone. All right, Stacey, why? What are your challenges, if any?
I think her brother is there. I think he's a nurse.
So
there's a lady.
Yeah, in addition to what everybody has said, for me personally, the challenges that I deal with are usually when patients are non-compliant, when they don't listen to the treatment plans that you have outlined for them. They don't want to go to some tests, some scans that you've prescribed. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. But they're still complaining of, they have this high blood pressure, pain, and all of that. Yeah. And you're telling them what they need to do, and they're not following through. It can be very frustrating, and it can be challenging. I actually had a patient that was diabetic. So I'm prescribing.
They're the worst patients.
So this patient is refusing to have the blood work done, right? So here I am, I'm prescribing insulin. I don't know what the last A1C, sugar, whatever has been, because the patient refuses blood work. Now I'm caught in the middle. Do I continue prescribing the insulin, which she needs to stay alive, really? Or do I stop, because I don't have the information I need to give her the correct dosages. So it becomes an ethical issue. So sometimes we deal with things like this, so I actually had to make an ethical consultation. It was a whole meeting done to see how we can safely care for this patient. So sometimes we get patients like that, and it can be difficult.
Difficult patients and managing them. That could be challenging. Yeah, thank you. Chuta, Ioma?
Yes.
Yeah, the last question for you before you carry on with those medication. Look around, I hope your patients are not in there. What are the challenges you face? If you could just give us one experience that will make us understand it better. Don't just tell us anything.
Yes. The challenges I face, they are numerous, but let me just narrow it down to one or two. Like today, this morning, since 8 a.m., I've been on duty up until good time. Yes. And I had a patient today that he doesn't eat, he doesn't take his medication. You don't even know when he's pretending. You don't know when it is real, And all of a sudden, he had this stiffness of the neck this afternoon. I had to get to the pharmacy, start looking out for, trying to get the injection to calm the whole situation down. Then, apart from that, second, this other patient came in that also doesn't eat, doesn't allow you touch him. He will insist you give him injection. And when you give him that injection, it won't get anywhere due to the drug, the substance he has been taking.
Yeah.
Ouch. Yeah.
He can all through the night. He came in yesterday evening, all through the night, according to the night nurse. He didn't sleep. Till this time, he's still awake. If you know medication, I will have this injection, paradehyd. We give him 10 meals from 2 p.m. this afternoon. Now, he's still awake. Plus other injections together. Yeah. So things like that. Mental illness, you don't know when the situation is real. You have
give
to
him 5 and 2.
Be very observant.
Somebody said give him 5 and 2. Yeah, 5 and 2. I think she's telling you to do 5 and 2. I don't know what 5 and 2 is.
She understood. We've given granite. We've given granite.
I don't think Ihoma
are communicating now.
Oh, okay.
We've done that. You can imagine the medical doctor on call had to join in, the care.
Ihoma, let me say something.
Granite. Uche, you know the one we call granite team or granite her.
No, what's that?
Granite, yes.
Granite.
You know that one. That's the slang we use here in Port Harcourt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Ihoma, before you joined us, Uche talked about her challenges, and she mentioned the same thing you spoke about, which is not knowing when they are acting up. and when they're
when it's a
really ill.
behavior. When it's a behavior.
Yeah, it's difficult anyway. It's difficult. Like I said, I don't have 1 hour. So we don't even know how one can on email at that time. If, yeah.
Very true.
I've been 1 hour. I think it's been an interesting conversation. And Izu told us that you don't need to do chemistry and physics in London to do maths. So
you're going to enter school. You're going to enter
that's
school.
what I'm considering. Yes, I'm considering being a nurse. But
yeah, come on. Yeah, you don't need chemistry and maths and physics.
Yes, we don't need it. I'm going.
They do it as a prerequisite.
Yeah,
I think they do it here as a prerequisite. Yeah.
So, and I've heard and I've got friends who are nurse practitioners. I can hear about the money they earn. I think that's why I watch out. I think that's where I'm coming now as a nurse practitioner. Too much money is on that side. And don't worry. Ojugo, for your information, I came across something on TikTok. Everybody does TikTok
School for dummies?
No, not school for dummies. You're such an idiot. No, he said 4 years ago, actually, it's a nurse talking. She said, 4 years, when I say I don't have 4 years to spend in school. If you don't do that, if you don't give yourself that 4 years, in 4 years' time, you'll still be there not doing anything.
Exactly.
So you missed that time of doing, you should have been doing something you love. Yeah, so it's important, whatever you want to do, there is plenty of time. We're not dying anytime soon. So do whatever you want to do. There is plenty. In Izu's class, she had a 60-year-old. So what are you talking about? Anybody can go to school, anybody can do anything. And again, I think from experience, life experience, the older you get, the more you put into any career you go into at that later stage. I know you Homa too well. If Homa had done nursing first degree, she'll forget her uniform at home and go to work. Quote me, tutor. Let me talk. So but now she's very diligent. She's doing her job. She loves her job. This girl is always at work. We need to look at your rota. Izu is the same person. They're always at work. I don't know what they're doing. Thank you very much. But you said something earlier, which the doctors don't like hearing. You're lucky Chizo is calm. That the nurses do everything for doctors.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Doctors breathing and breathe out. Doctors breathing and breathe out. They breathing and breathe out.
Chizo, any words from that? Okay, Chizo is choosing to ignore us today.
No, she's probably typing. It is very true. Nurses do a lot.
I think I'm going to go and read nursing now, but I'm going to the psych area.
Yeah, come over.
So I'm gonna stop this live streaming so we can go offline. If are you done, so I can go offline.
Thank you very much, everyone, for being a part of today's show. Join us next week for another interesting topic. And to our guests, our nurses, those on the panel, those who are not on the panel, thank you. We love you all.
Thank you for all you do.
On Facebook. Where is your mother? My mother is a retired psychiatric nurse. So there's so many nurses.
Appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Sit back. Let's continue the conversation offline.